the stalk. Deuce is the root. If the cards could talk, you'd win the loot on Card Sharks. And here's the host of Card Sharks, Jim Perry.
Thank you very much. Hello there. Welcome to Card Sharks. Thank you. Good to have you here. Thank you for joining us at home. And I must say, thank you. With this opening poem, I have a feeling that with the stalk and the root, you are a gardener, Lillian Burke of Millersburg, Ohio. Thank you for that opening poem. And now let's open the board and get to the cards. Janice and Bettina, if you will, load into brand new decks of cards with these players on Card Sharks. Joe Lisha, our champion. Hi, Joe.
How do you?
Good to see you again.
Thank you.
Won't you remind us about yourself?
Okay, my name is Joe Lisha. I'm from Chatsworth, California, originally from Cairo, Egypt. I'm an engineer working research.
Good, and you have won $3,200 in cold cash, Joe.
Yes. I hope I win some more money.
You're a good player.
Okay,
we're meeting our challenger for the first time. This is Pat Benson. Hi, Pat.
Hi,
nice
Jim.
to see you.
Thank you. Good to be here, finally.
Finally, you've been trying to get on?
Oh, yes.
That's good. Tell us about yourself.
All right. My name is Pat Benson, and even though it's Benson, my husband and I have recently purchased an Italian deli and restaurant.
Really?
And with a name like that, the food's got to be good. And today I've brought 4 generations to cheer me on.
Well, isn't that nice? You're a great-grandmother. Isn't that wonderful,
Well,
Pat?
I'm one of the generations.
I know. Good. Well, we wish you well. Good luck to both of you.
Thank you.
Each player has a deck of 52 playing cards. They're shuffled. The players cut them before we go on the air. Joe, the champion, plays the upper cards, the red cards. Pat, the challenger, the lower cards, the blue cards. Before you can begin calling high-low on the cards, you must win a high-low toss-up question. We always start with a question to the champion. And, Joe, that means you. We'll swing it around here for game 1 and this question. Joe, we asked 100 single women, when you go out on a date, do you usually try on more than one outfit before you decide what you're going to wear? How many single women said yes, they usually do try on more than one outfit?
Oh, a lot of them, they keep trying one after the other to see which one is going to fit better, to show the best or the more, you know. So I would say for the more of it, you know. So it would be like 80.
80 women try on more than one before they decide what they're going to wear, Pat.
I always look for something to make me look thin and tall. I'll say it will be even higher than that.
Higher than that? If it is higher, Pat, you'll go to the board first. If not, it'll be Joe. And the actual number of single women who usually try on more than one outfit before they go out on a date is 73. It's not higher, Joe.
All right.
Yes.
All right.
Joe, you'll start off with a 5.
Right.
You won the question. You have the right to change
it
if
if
you
it's
like.
a good card. I will go higher on that.
Playing the 5 higher? No, it's a 2. You lose that card and you give Pat a free chance to play.
Fantastic.
An 8. You're right up the middle, but you didn't win the question, so you can't change it.
Okay, it's free. I'll say higher.
Higher than an 8? No, it's a 3. It was free, but you couldn't take advantage of it, Pat. Janice will fill in the spaces. Question 2 to you, Pat. We asked 100 people, if through the wonders of medical science you could be frozen today and defrosted in 100 years, would you do it? How many people said they would do it?
I think most people are more afraid of the future than they are of right now, and I'll say it will be fairly low. I'll say 38.
38 people would want to be defrosted in 100 years. That's a wonderful use of the word, isn't it? Defrosted.
I think the people would like to be defrosted would be less than that.
Even less than that.
Right.
Future doesn't appeal to you.
No, they want to enjoy every minute. They don't want to miss a day.
Good thinking.
Okay.
The actual number of people who, if they could, would be frozen today and defrosted in 100 years is 35. It is lower. Joe.
Right.
Pat had it almost right on, but Joe got it. Still looking at a 5.
Okay, I will still go higher on that. That's a good card.
Higher than a 5? No, it's another 2. Wow. Pat, with an 8?
I'm going to try higher again.
Higher again. And again, it is lower. We'll fill in the spaces again. Boy, the cards are funny. Joe, we asked 100 bachelors, do you want the woman you marry to have a career? How many bachelors said they do want the woman they marry to have a career?
Not too many like to have women with careers, especially when they compete together. You know, they like to be the man of the house, the number one. You know, they wear the pants.
So how many would marry
it
a
will be
with a career?
Okay, only 25.
25 would want the woman they marry to have a career of her own, Pat.
I think they want their wives to be happy, and I'll say higher.
Higher. The actual number of bachelors who want the woman they marry to have a career is 75. Pat, you got it. It is higher. Now you can change that 8. Pat's been trying to get rid of this 8 for 3 questions. It is a 10. A little better.
A little better. I'm going to say lower.
Lower than a 10. Yes, a 3. Higher than a 3. It is a 7.
Freeze.
Freezing it. We move over the freeze bar, and we can't take those cards away from you. Sudden death now. Someone has to win with this play of the cards. Pat needs 2. Joe needs 4. Pat, we asked 100 men. Have you ever worked as a department store Santa Claus? How many men said yes?
Very few. Very few. I know one. I'll say 18.
18 men have worked as a department store Santa Claus, Joe.
It would be lower than that, because it's not a very common thing to do.
So you say lower.
Yes.
The actual number of men who have worked as a department store Santa Claus is 3. Very much lower. Joe.
Thank you.
Sudden death, Joe. You need 4 cards. Pat needs 2. Do you want to play it or pass it?
Pass that, please.
You'll pass it to Pat. Pat,
Thank
you've
you
got a
so
7.
much.
You can't change it. If you can turn them both over, you win. 1 mistake, and Joe wins.
Higher.
Higher than a 7? No, it is not higher. It's another 7. Joe wins the first game of the match in sudden death. Game 1 to Joe. We'll set up for game 2 coming up after this commercial message.
Match Game is back with a brand new season of star-studded shenanigans
I don't even know where I am.
and all the blank you can handle.
Let's play Match Game.
Season premiere Wednesday 10/9 Central on ABC.
Our champion, Joe Lisha, has game 1 and $100. We're setting up for game 2 with the same 2 decks of cards. Joe, the question to you. We asked 100 married women, if you had a lot more money, would your marriage be happier? How many women said their marriage would be happier?
I think it will be few, because money is not everything. Either you have the happiness or not, you know. And I would say about 45.
45, that's few. Pat, higher or lower? The marriage would be happier if they had more money.
My husband keeps telling me he was happiest when we were really, really poor. And I'll say it will be higher.
Higher.
For no reason at all.
For no reason at all. The actual number of married women who, if they had more money, would have a happier marriage is 35. It is not higher, Joe.
Right. Okay, let's see.
It's nice to know people are happy. Your base card,
Okay.
Joe, is a king.
Beautiful. I like that. I go lower next time.
Lower than a king. Yes,
Beautiful,
with a jack.
beautiful. One more time lower.
Lower than a jack. Oh, no, an ace. And you lose both cards back to the base card. Pat, you're playing a queen. Look at the face
Fantastic.
cards.
Lower.
Lower than a queen. Another queen. Both decks came up with face cards and nobody could advance. Pat, we asked 100 people in Plains, Georgia. Billy Carter now has his own brand of beer called Billy Beer. Have you ever tasted Billy Beer? How many people in Billy's hometown had tasted Billy Beer?
He's popular, or he's well known. I don't know if he's popular or not. They might be ashamed of him. I'll say 60 have tried it.
60 have tried Billy Beer in Plains, Georgia, his hometown.
I think it will be higher than that, because for curiosity, they like to try it and see how it tastes at least.
So you think it's higher?
Yes.
Does Billy Beer give you a beer belly, belly beer,
Maybe
belly?
belly
I don't know.
dancing,
Whatever
I
it
don't
does. You say higher. The actual number of people in Plains, Georgia, who have tasted Billy Beer is 72. It's higher.
Beautiful, beautiful.
Joe, do you want the jack?
I will
The king.
stick with the king, and I will go lower.
Lower than a king, and this time it is with a queen.
Queen is good. I go lower, yeah.
Lower than a queen. Yes,
Beautiful.
very much a 3.
Higher. Give me
Higher than a 3. It is a 9.
Three's right there.
Joe needs 1 card for another shot at the money cards. Joe, we asked 100 women in a supermarket, have you ever broken a bottle in the market and not reported it? How many women admitted they had?
You will find a lot of people do this, especially the people who are shopping for baby food. They drop the jar and they just kick it down. So I would say it will be like 45.
45 have broken a bottle and not reported it, Pat. What do you think, higher or lower? Sounds like you're looking for help on this one.
I've done worse. I don't think I would be embarrassed to report that. I'll say it will be lower.
Lower. Fewer have done it. The actual number of women who have broken a bottle in the market and not reported it is 4. Very much lower, Pat. Well, you've got a queen, Pat. Do you want it?
Yes. Go lower, please.
Lower than a queen? It is a 5.
I'm going to go higher.
Higher than a 5? No, a 4. It is not higher, and you lose those 2 cards. Joe with a 9 called this one for the win.
Okay, I like to go lower on that.
If it is lower, Joe wins the match. Yes, he did it. Joe's second win. Good job, Joe. Pat, thank you for joining us. We have some nice party gifts for you.
Great.
Good luck with your new restaurant.
Thank you.
Pat Benson. Thank you, Pat. Joe, come on down here. Again, our congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Joe's going to go for the money cards right after this commercial message. There we go.